Now this is cool. Hey everybody, I'm Chris Beytes from GrowerTalks magazine.
Jen Polanz, Green Profit magazine.
The other half of GrowerTalks, maybe the better half.
The right half.
The back side of the magazine. Anyway, we are here at 4-Star Greenhouses in Carlton, Michigan, covering the second Proven Winners open house, a special private event that kind of started throwing just for us. So we had a chance to share with you the new varieties from Proven Winners in annuals, perennials, and shrubbery. You can see the annuals and shrubbery videos here on our YouTube channel. Right now, we're going to look at the Walters Gardens perennials, and I think I've got Andrew Jager standing by. Tall man, knows a lot about perennials, and too much about perennials. We could easily do a 2-hour video.
We could, but that would be a lot.
We'd have to cut it into 14 separate videos, one per variety. We challenged him to tell us a little bit about what he knows about each of these. And let's start with these colorful beauties up at the top here. A brand new genus for you guys, right?
Yep, yeah, news for Proven Winners Perennials. These are the first.
Get the tag there, JP.
These are the first two Primula in the program, Perennial Primula. Primula vulgaris. The series is Bouquet Perfect, because they look a little bit like a bouquet, perfect bouquet
They do.
of flowers
Great habit.
sitting there in the pot. We have two colors that are new to the market. We have Mandarin, which is that more that golden yellow one, and then we have Blue Ripples.
Those are beautiful. They could be a potted plant, a gift plant that you could then put in the landscape, I think.
Yes, that would be perfect. A perfect use for them if you want to use them like that. We did select them for their longevity in the landscape. Really good vigor, really good size on them. So one that you can definitely enjoy year after year.
And you said these are zone 4 early spring bloomers.
Yes, zone 4. If you're looking to fill out your early spring bench, these are going to be the ones that turn heads.
Primula vulgaris. Nothing vulgar about them, though,
No.
I would say. All right, how about we got a new grass down here.
Yep,
this
Skit,
up.
Scoparium, a little blue stem. This is in the Prairie Winds collection. This variety is called brush strokes because it looks a little bit like the top of a paintbrush in the landscape. One of the nice characteristics about this, Schizocariums are a very nice vase-shaped plant, but this one has a lot of skirting around the base, so it's going to be very full, very vigorous in the landscape.
And a native.
A good one, yes.
And for full sun, right?
Full sun, hardy to zone 3.
There you go.
Tough one.
So
We got a campanula, I believe, in 2 colors here. Tell us about these little guys.
yeah, so I have two of the 3 in the series. These are the mini marvels, Cula Carpaticas, Carpathian bellflowers. The unique thing about these is they are from tissue culture. They are incredibly vigorous. For size, these are going to be some of the biggest Campanula Carpaticas in the landscape.
Oh yeah, look at the tag there. That's a nice big mounding plant, but it makes a beautiful little grande here, a quart size.
Yep. Yeah, very long blooming.
All right. Up top we've got.
Oh, wait. Is there one that's not shown here? The Twilight? Is that
Yeah,
right?
so there's a third color. We have Starbright, which is the pure white. We have Midnight, which is that darker violet blue. And then we have kind of an intermediate between the two called Twilight. So that one has a bit of that violet blue on the flower, but then a white eye.
All right, we got to keep moving on. There's hundreds of these up here. This one is Bejeweled Pink Pearls. Oh, it's a penstemon. See, I'm from Florida. I don't know about penstemon. Tell us. You got 2 colors of this penstemon back here.
Yeah, so the first of a few colors that we're going to have, this is Penstemon barbatus Bejeweled, pink pearls and rose rhinestones. Pink pearls, kind of that softer bubblegum pink, and then rose rhinestone, a nice rosy reddish pink.
Where is this native to?
So yeah, these are native to the southwest. You can find them growing on rocky hillsides.
So they'll take some heat and some drought, I imagine.
They will
because
take
of
some
that.
heat and some drought. Great one. Usually when you think of something that's so bright and colorful, you assume that it needs a lot of water to get to that point. But these ones, if you are looking for something that's going to attract hummingbirds and a bit more of a low water xeric landscape garden, that's one that might be up your alley.
All right, we've got a phlox here, a Tradescantia, but I wanted to move on to these
Yes.
These
Stokesia.
Stokesias.
Stokesia. Yeah,
Let's
these
pull that
ones-
tag out, Jen, so you can be sure to get the variety name there for folks.
Yeah, so these Stokesias, Stokesia laevis, totally stoked is the series name, and we are totally stoked for them. This is one of our top picks for the upcoming year. We have a variety called Riptide, which is this more of the blue color, and then we have White Caps, which is a near white.
Gnarly, man.
And you had told us earlier these are from NC State.
Yes, this is out of the North Carolina State program, and they are just absolutely gorgeous in the landscape. They trialed them, we've trialed them. Really beautiful dome-shaped habit, nice big flowers. Southeastern United States native. We've done really well in the heat and
All right,
humidity.
let's do this onion.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like, oh, I'm going to hold it like that. It's kind of heavy. Doesn't look like much now, but we have to love the name of this one.
You have
Perfect.
to. Yeah,
It's
so
the
this
bobblehead.
is Allium bobblehead. If you're looking for a four-season perennial for your garden, ornamental onions are tough to beat, particularly this one. It's one of the fastest growing categories of perennial that we've seen.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
But it's not because I've had them in my landscape. They're bulletproof and they're beautiful.
Yeah, when you start
almost all year round.
when you start listing all the things that Allium do for the home gardener or for the commercial or landscaper, it's literally just endless. They're deer and rabbit resistant because they're in the onion family. Really strong onion flavor, so they don't usually get bothered. They tolerate a wide range of soils. They're very heat and drought tolerant. They're basically a deer and rabbit resistant daylily.
Except daylilies look like a dog's lunch by August, as my friend Dean Bemis would say. And
Yeah.
this still looks beautiful green in August.
Yeah, when situated correctly, they keep all of their foliage. You will lose a little bit of the lower leaves, but they still look really nice. And then when they flower, they hold a really nice seed head after the fact. And that seed head should stay up through winter, depending a little bit on the kind of conditions. But usually you can expect that seed head to stay through winter. So then you've got your 4 seasons of interest. Trim them back in spring and you're good to go.
All right.
once again.
This salvia is a bit of a breakthrough here. JP, can you pick one of those up there?
Yeah. So what we're looking at here is really kind of a first of its kind on the market. It is called Salvia Living Large Big Sky. So it's a hybrid.
It implies some size.
It should imply some
the
size
name.
because that is the key characteristic of this plant. This thing gets massive. It will be one of the biggest salvia, if not the biggest salvia, perennial salvia on the market. It looks a little bit pretentious, but what we're actually looking at is really some of the smaller size characteristics for this. So it's in a 1 gallon. You could easily grow this in a 2-gallon container. We're looking at the second flush of flowers. On me, I'm pretty tall, but it does get, about 2.5, 3 feet tall at maturity. The leaves get the size of my hand, if not a little bit bigger.
Big leaves and big flowers on there. And
Big
you said
leaves,
those
big
initial
flowers.
spikes can be a foot long. You
Yep,
said
the
some of those.
initial flower spike can be a foot long. We're looking at the secondary wave, lots of branching on this. So you're going to see that first flush, the second flush of flowers following from that branching. A little bit later to bloom than some of the other salvias on the market, but that can be a good thing, particularly if you're a retailer trying to fill out their bench. You'll have your early Salvia nemorosa, it's kind of your true Salvia pratensis, filling in behind that, and then you'll have something like Salvia Living Large Big Sky that's going to pull attention to that Salvia bench after those ones are kind of dwindling. in
Yeah,
their
and we
first
talked a
flush.
lot about shoulder season, getting those either real early or late, June into July
Yeah.
varieties to keep people coming to the garden center. This will do.
Yeah.
Any more
Well,
colors
this is-
coming in this or shades of blue, purple? What would you do here?
I mean, you got to come back next year to see them.
All right, little hint there
There we go.
from the Walters Gardens folks here. And another breakthrough is this beautiful hibiscus. How is that showing? Let's pull that one out there, Andrew, so we can show both the tag and the flower up under there. This one is
Yeah.
Summerific. That's a collection you've had. Lots
Yeah,
of
for a while now.
Lots of in it. Cookies and cream, named for. Doesn't taste like it, does it?
Cookies and cream,
No,
not
I'm not
just
eating
leave.
this one.
not necessarily
shame.
edible. You can try and let me know if it tastes any good. But the breakthrough here is we have dark near black foliage with a pure white flower. So that's where you get the cookies and cream, that contrast of dark foliage and bright flower.
Same habit as all the other Summerifics.
It will be one of the smaller ones. I do have to say, though, since I am holding one, this is not as dark as the foliage gets. If you grow it outside under UV light, when it gets those high UV colors, then you will have near black foliage on this. So we're a little bit light because it's April, and we've been growing this through the winter months. Honestly, I'm really impressed that we even have as many flowers as we do, but you can see this, and that is pretty true, just the sheer amount of buds that it has.
I think that's going to look great against some of those pinks and the reds, real contrast, not only its own contrast, but with some of the other summerific varieties that you guys have. Any idea how many there are now in the collection?
In the Summerific collection, I believe we're approaching 15.
Wow, that's a lot of hardy hibiscus.
Hardy down to zone 4, right?
Zone 4, yep.
Tough cookie.
All right.
Cream.
Two more quick ones we're going to look at here, maybe 3, but let's pull up this guy because this one's interesting. Yeah. This is a Heliopsis or false sunflower. Is the common name.
Heliopsis, touch of blush.
And the touch of blush is from what?
So named for the pink color that you get around the margins of the plant, particularly under cooler temperatures. So when this is first emerging in spring, you'll see that nice mound of foliage with the pink blushing around the sides.
That's a lot of interesting foliage color there. But then you've got this real pretty, slightly almost bicolor flower with the darker eye or ring inside there.
So the flowers are a little bit smaller than what we would expect to see out in the landscape. Being forced so early, you can expect a little bit bigger flower and then a nice orange halo around that middle cone.
A halo, right? And that dark stem too. Almost
dark centers, dark stems that set off both the foliage early in the year and then the flowers later.
Full sun for these guys?
Full sun is best.
All right, but what about a shade plant? I've got shade.
You've got shade? Well, I've got a frond for you.
Oh.
So this is Ethereum Felix Femina Fronds Forever. So we have one fern in the Proven Winners Perennial collection already. It's an Ethereum niponicum, a Japanese painted fern.
So Ethereum is Japanese painted fern, but this is not a Japanese painted fern.
This is not.
Similar.
No.
So you called it a lady fern.
Yep. So a common name on this is lady fern.
Okay.
So compared with the Japanese painted ferns, which are a little bit more prostrate, low and wide, this one is more upright, vertical.
Okay. But just green, like a fern.
Just green, has really nice double cresting on the tips. So you'll see that more with maturity. Here's a fairly good example.
That when I looked up close. Look at that.
It's a nice texture for the shade garden.
Yeah,
I like that.
It'd be great texture.
All right, and you didn't want to show these, but I'm going to make you do it anyway. These little tiny hostas here, miniatures you're working on.
Yes, or the exact opposite. So
I'll tell you, Andrew didn't want to talk about them because he says these don't. If I tell people that these are some of the biggest hostas you're ever going to put in the landscape, they'll laugh me out of the place. No, we won't laugh you out of the place. We trust you.
I appreciate the confidence. It doesn't look very big, but this one, Hosta Shadowland Lone Star, and then we have Shadowland. That's the series name. We have Shadowland Gigantosaurus.
Wait, I'll get that tag too because that's a great name.
You can expect.
And there's a picture of the breeder hands in the picture there.
That's him with the mature plant.
And he is not a small person.
No, nope. So,
look at that.
Yeah, the leaves, if you can see a little bit of the proportions there, like that's bigger than his head. Like those are massive leaves, really wide margin compared to what we see
We're
here.
talking 5 to 6 feet wide in the landscape.
That would be the minimum, yeah.
Minimum 5, 6. So this is good for patios, small balconies.
Yeah, or filling huge spaces.
City parks, acreage, like I might have.
And there's a third one too, right? That
Yeah.
is not here.
Yeah, and then we have Sound of Music. So we've seen a lot of gravitation towards these bigger hostas, particularly with gardeners looking to just fill space. They don't want to buy 5 plants when they can get one that's gonna kind of do that for them.
Except I know hosta people, and they wind up collecting them, and they have to own. They see there's a new Shadowland, they're going to buy every one of them. I've done that myself in my own garden. Lastly, let's mention Art and Soul Mangave, which was a new program for this year.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. So Art and Soul, little bit of availability this year, but mostly we're gearing up for 2025. We have 6 varieties to open up the collection. Catch a Wave, Thunderbird, Lavender Lady, Bad Hair Day, Tooth Fairy, and Night Owl. Well, they do have some of the funnest names out of
That's
anything that
Bad
we've
Hair Day,
named.
yeah. These are great. And you said that one of the things they do is agave are succulents. They don't like water. The Manfreda blood brings moisture tolerance into it, which allows you to give this cool texture of the agave into either wet spots in the garden, wet moist spots, or combo planters.
Yep. So if you put an agave in a combo planter with annuals, you wouldn't see a lot of growth out of the agave. It's just a little bit slower. It's not really going to thrive in that type of moisture environment. It'll probably be dying, rotting from the inside. With a Mangave, because they have that Manfreda background, which is, we're predominantly using Manfreda undulata in these, which is kind of a southeast native, U.S. native. They're used to a lot more moisture, a little bit more flexibility. So that you can combine with annuals. You'll see growth, you'll see brilliant colors, and you'll see a lot more tolerance.
All right.
So you still can go to those dry conditions, though. So it's really just about as bulletproof a plant as you can get for the landscape.
That's beautiful. And talk about cool textures, something new for the garden center, either as a standalone, combo planter, however you want to use it. So that's a taste, at least, a pretty good taste of what Walter's Gardens has added to the Proven Winners line for 2025 here at the 2025 Proven Winners Open House. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next time we'll give you 2 hours and we'll really go into detail.
We could.